Hey, so I'm back with the moon sign in Taurus, or should I say Taurus moons and their mothers. Now, Taurus, with the moon being in Taurus, the moon is comfortable in Taurus. The moon loves being in Taurus because the moon looks for security. Taurus is that security. Taurus has the ability to hold the emotions of the moon like a cup and have those emotions. The moon is comfortable being in the sign of Taurus, just like the moon belongs in the sign of Cancer. Now, this is the thing, because the moon in Taurus and the moon in Cancer is kind of the same, but a little bit different. And I'm going to show you the twist. And if you have not watched Cancer moon sign, or the moon in Cancer moon signs and their mothers, then go ahead and watch that, because you can come back and compare and contrast a lot of the differences between the two, but then where there is slightly different. Okay, so here the moon is comfortable, and therefore your mother figure probably was there for you, or the person that nurtured you was there for you. They incorporated tradition into your life. They are there when you need them, especially materially. Like a lot of people with this placement, at the end of the day, when things are falling apart for them materially or financially, they can go to their mothers for money or for assistance. Like, mom, I need to come back and live with you until I get it on my feet. Or, mom, my cell phone is broke. And your mother is going to jump up to see how they can work things out for you. Even if they're not the ones that come up with the money themselves, or like have it in their possession, they will go to people that do. They know people that do, or they know somebody that can give you the hookup, or they know that person that you can talk to get you what you need. In most cases, I'm not necessarily saying in all cases, because you got to see how this plays out with the rest of the chart. But in most cases, you can find this. All right. And the person with this placement, it is hard for them to break free from the traditions that the mother instilled into them. So when they were younger, it's like they waited on the mother to tell them what to do. They waited on even if they were an independent person, it's like they waited on the mother to tell them what to do. Even if they didn't know that this is what they're doing, subconsciously, it's like this is what they do. And I'm going to tell you how. Because being young at the age of 2, 3, 4, those are important times in our lives. And those are the times where the mother was like, you know what? Hey, don't stick things in the electrical current, because you can get shocked and you can get seriously hurt. Whether we chose to do that or not, whatever outcome we experience from the guidance that our mother gave us tells individuals with this placement, oh, mom knows a lot. Like, I really should listen to her. Even when you don't, you do. It's like you'll come out of what your mother taught you to have your experiences here and there, but traditionally you'll stick to those traditions because you value them. And what do I mean by tradition? Like, for example, if your mother instilled you with a certain religion, if you practice Christmas and you practice Christmas a certain way, you may find yourself practicing Christmas like that with your children when you get older and have them. You get what I'm saying? You may find yourself instilling the principles that from the religion that was instilled inside of you to your children, right? And some of you got, like, you may not even have read the Quran or read the Bible fully, but you'll go off of the fact that that's what your mother gave you to pass down. Now, do people break these cycles? Yes, they do. They do all the time. I'm one of those people, but it's hard for them to do. It's like you'll come across the truth, or you'll come across another, it's not even necessarily truth, another way of seeing things through your associations with people outside of that parenting structure, right? And they'll teach you new things. They'll instill in you new things, or they'll have new things ready for you, and you will have that battle with letting go. Like, man, for me to accept this, I have to fully let go of what was taught to me. But you hold on to it for dear life because that's where your safety net is. It's really about security more than anything. More than the truth. Okay? Depending on what your sun sign is or rising sign is will determine whether it's going to be a hard time coming out of those traditions, but determine whether it's how the level of difficulty that it brings coming breaking free from these things. But yeah, there's a sense of like your mother being there to nurture you, and maybe she wasn't there to nurture you emotionally, but she was there to nurture you to make sure that you had a stable environment, some type of way, shape, or form. It doesn't mean that she was rich necessarily, but she was like, oh, you know, Johnny needs clothes, Susie needs food. It may not have been the healthiest food all the time, but she made sure it was there. It could have been where she cooked every night, or she made, you know, it was more of a home setting, and she tried hard to make sure that that traditional aspect was there, that you had some type of security. Johnny needs clothes. Now, whether she paid a lot of money for those clothes or she got it from the thrift shop, that doesn't matter. You get what I'm saying? It was just that Johnny needs clothes. It's that type of atmosphere. And because of that, you know you can always go to her for things. Now, it could have also been situations to where she wasn't necessarily emotionally available because she didn't know how to be, and that's why she made up for it materially, or because you could have been a middle child, maybe. Even if you were the older child or the younger child, it could have been like another one of the siblings that needed more of the emotional support and attention versus you. So you're there, she's taking care of you, but emotionally maybe not as present. And as you grow up, you start to put more value into that materially soothes you. And a lot of times, people with these moon signs, they become complacent and comfortable. And when it comes to coming outside of that, it's very hard. They have to work extra hard versus somebody that just allows themselves to come out of the stronghold of what was taught to them. Most of the time, since we're dealing with the moon, it happens on a subconscious level. But one day when you really come outside of it and you look in, you see like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this because I want my parents to be happy for me. I want my mother to be okay with what I'm doing. I want acceptance still. But like I said, it doesn't necessarily happen at first. It's when you can sit out and look in. And when I did the moon sign and Cancer in their mother's video, oh wow, like someone commented and they were like, man, now I see what's going on. She was like, it took me coming outside the situation to look back, and that's why I'm telling this to you. Okay? So, if you have a child with this moon sign placement, it's important, like, yeah, provide that security for them, but also be emotionally available to them as too. Try, because the energy is conflicting like that to where it's easy to go in the route of the energy, but to break those patterns, you gotta really come out of your comfort zone. So being emotionally available and emotionally validating them too is what they look for, not just material validation. And this is so interesting because this plays out with Scorpio moon sign and their mothers as well. Their mothers try to sometimes make up for the emotional aspect with material gains, which is because Taurus is the opposite sign, you know. But since Taurus is also a fixed sign, here you get the mother wanting to sometimes be emotionally available, but they don't really know how. Or you get them really locked into making sure they want to provide securely because they feel like that's what's important to the child, and it is. So it's a good thing, like it's a good thing, but just incorporate the emotional availability aspect to your child with displacement as well. Okay, so I'm gonna stop there. And also be sure, like, you can check out my playlist, check out the other moon sign placements that I have, like Taurus moons basically, so you can go check that out as well. And I'm your girl Butterfly to Light. Subscribe and like, because I will be coming back with more aspects, astrologically, that is. Peace.